For a long time now, Kelowna and the central Okanagan have been drawing people in, whether it's for those stunning lake views, mountain access, or that slower paced yet vibrant lifestyle, and that's for newcomers and retirees. Yet, if you read the comment section of our videos, you would actually think that people are leaving Kelowna. So in this video, we are going to take a look at what those top 3 reasons are that people say they are leaving Kelowna. And then we're gonna do a reality check to see if Kelowna is actually losing more than they gain. And then we're gonna dive into Kelowna's real estate market and see what is actually happening and how it affects you as a renter, a buyer, or a seller. And I am Andrea Sereda, a local real estate agent here in Kelowna, and I love to make videos to show you what it looks like to move and live here in the Okanagan. I help people buy and sell homes here every day, and I am boots on the ground seeing what is actually happening here. So let's dive in. Let's start with the top reasons that I hear from people for why they want to leave. Now, some of these are perceptions, valid, some are exaggerations, but they do influence decisions. The top reason that I continue to hear from people that they want to leave Kelowna is definitely affordability. Prices have gotten steep. Detached homes in a lot of neighborhoods are well over that $1 million mark, and condos and townhouses still continue to climb. Some new construction condos can be over $1,000 a square foot, which still surprises a lot of people. On top of that, over the last few years, interest rates have been higher, which has made it a lot more expensive to get mortgages, putting a lot more pressure on buyers, but on existing homeowners as well. We're also seeing investors and short-term rental owners stepping back from the market. Between new regulations and short-term rental restrictions, some owners are finding it's not worth the hassle anymore. Put that all together, and it creates a real disconnect. Some buyers are completely priced out. Others are choosing to downsize or move to more affordable markets. And longtime homeowners are frustrated that the equity that they've built doesn't go as far in their next move. Next up, we're going to talk about infrastructure along with the growing pains and lifestyle pressures. Now, this is all relative, but if you've lived in Kelowna or the Okanagan for a long time, you've probably seen a lot of changes when it comes to the traffic and the pressure on our infrastructure. But if you're moving here from other bigger centers like Vancouver, Calgary, or Toronto, they often laugh when we talk about traffic. With that said, for locals who have lived here for the last 5 to 10 years, the pressure on our infrastructure has been noticeable. As Kelowna has continued to grow, so has the number of cars on our road, especially since so much of the movement into Kelowna is coming from bigger car-dependent cities. With our population now pushing 225,000 in our metro area, the infrastructure has not grown at the same pace. The bridge is our biggest pain point. With one way of connecting West Kelowna with the rest of the city, it can become a major bottleneck. Especially during those summer and tourist peak times, it can take 30 to 45 minutes to get across the bridge. Add in Highway 97, where we've got lots of lights, turning lanes, add in school hour pressure and construction zones, and traffic can become incredibly frustrating. Some residents feel that that small city feeling is eroding and are going to look elsewhere to find it. Now let's talk about the weather. If you've watched any of my videos, you will see that it's something that I typically brag about. But contrary to what you might think, for some, the weather's actually a deal breaker. In the winter, it can become gloomy and cloudy, and it can feel like the sun has left for weeks. And for some stretches, we can get low-hanging clouds that just stay in the valley for what feels like forever. And for newcomers who are expecting endless sunny days, it can be an adjustment. Now, while we're on the topic, we also need to highlight wildfires. For most seasons, we're fine. But when a fire rolls into the area or even the province, we do get some stretches of smoke. Most summers we get those beautiful clear skies. Others we get some smoky stretches, and it's something that locals have had to get used to. But if you are someone who is moving here for the first time, it's something to be aware of. Now the good news is our winters are short. Yes, you are typically going to see snow in December and January and maybe a little bit into February. But we're not going to be shoveling snow into April like those living in Alberta or even Ontario. By March, you are seeing our patios open up and people hopping back on their bikes. And our family's little secret is that once we've hit that point where it's felt a little too gloomy in the winter, we head up to Big White, where we can get up above those clouds, take in some incredible vitamin D while we spend time snowboarding the slopes and resetting our mood. So yes, winters, they can be a little bit gloomy and summers have a risk of smoke. But overall, Kelowna's climate is one that is mild, sunny, and easy to fall in love with. If you're having a tough day, head out, take a walk up a mountain, a stroll along the lake, and it's easy to be reminded why so many people fall in love with living here. All right, let's dive into those numbers because everybody is asking the same thing. Are there more people leaving Kelowna than moving in? Well, if we look at the data, the Thompson-Okanagan region did have a small net loss of people to other provinces in the year end of July 1st, 2023. About 503 more people left than arrived. So there are some people who are leaving the area. In 2024, Kelowna's in-migration was down quite a bit. A moving company who had ranked us as the 4th most popular place to move in Canada ranked us number 24th as we moved into 2024. That's a big shift in momentum. But before we jump to any conclusions, we need to zoom out. Historically looking, Kelowna has continued to grow fast. In 1996, we had about 136 residents, growing to 247 in 2023. So that long-term trend is showing that Kelowna is still growing, just not at the breakneck pace that we saw during the pandemic. Another interesting point is that Kelowna's population is actually getting younger. For so many years, Kelowna was seen as a retirement city. But now we are finding that Kelowna is attracting ages 20 to 44. Young families, remote workers, and professionals who are looking for a lifestyle without sacrificing opportunity. That said, Kelowna's net domestic migration has slowed. Kelowna used to roughly see about 3,300 new residents moving from other areas in Kelowna. But in 2024, that dropped to roughly 1,500. So yes, there are people who are leaving Kelowna and the Okanagan region, mostly for affordability and job opportunities elsewhere. But the bigger picture is much more balanced. Kelowna is continuing to grow, especially with international immigration and people who are moving from other areas in British Columbia. Bottom line is, don't let that headline that everyone is leaving Kelowna fool you. The story is so much more nuanced. What we're actually seeing is some balance after some unprecedented years of growth. Now let's bring in the data because what people actually think and what's happening in the market can diverge. The Kelowna real estate market has definitely shifted. We are no longer in those crazy years where our homes were flying off the shelf with 10+ offers on the first day. We've moved to more of a buyer's market, which has allowed for some downward pressure on prices, which has actually helped affordability a little bit. If we look at inventory, we finally have more of it, and buyers have the opportunity to have choices. Now there's lots of options, especially if you're looking at condos and townhouses. And the detached homes that are getting actions are those that are turnkey and priced well. If you look at pricing, what you might see is from headlines is that it's stable. But if you dig a little bit deeper, what you can actually find is that some older homes or homes that have been sitting on the market for a while actually have the ability to be negotiated on, and they're selling even tens of thousands off of asking prices. Now, the homes that are selling quickly are those that come out priced well right out of the gate. If we look at pace, the best homes, the ones that show beautifully and are priced right, are still selling quickly. Everything else, you find it sits for a little while. Might do a price reduction or two before finding that right buyer once it finally hits market value. When we look through the lens of financing, interest rate relief has come in waves. Interest rate decreases can be incredibly helpful for buyers who are looking to get a mortgage. But the biggest variable we've seen is pressure on prices. This is what really helps home ownership become more attainable. We are seeing more supply than we have seen in decades, and a lot of that is multifamily new developments. Lots of condos and townhouse developments happening here, which is really great for downsizers or those first-time buyers looking to get into the market. With that said, Truly unique detached homes in prime locations are still limited and do tend to hold their value better. So overall, we're in more of a balanced market than we have seen in years. Buyers have more leverage and more choice. Sellers need to be sharp on price and presentation. And while affordability is still a challenge, it is beginning to improve as prices soften and the inventory builds. Okay, so lastly, we need to take a look at what this actually means for renters, buyers, and sellers. And let's start with renters. First up, we've actually got some good news. Over the last year alone, we have seen thousands of purpose-built rentals hit the rental market, as well as hundreds of short-term rentals that can no longer operate. That combination alone is huge. But our vacancy rate, which has been nearly zero for a long time, has risen to almost 5%, which is the best it's been in years. What this means for renters is that there's a little more negotiating power and maybe even a little more affordability. Renters are able to negotiate better terms or find a better deal. Affordability is still tight, and it is still cheaper to rent than to purchase, at least for now until prices continue to soften. But if you're renting, that doesn't mean you're completely missing out. Right now is a perfect opportunity to get yourself in the right financial situation to jump when that right opportunity presents itself. And for buyers, finally things are feeling a little less frantic. You've got a lot more options, and you're able to take a little time to think rather than feeling like you need to jump on something and potentially overpay the day it hits the market. If a home has been sitting on the market, well, there's a good chance that that seller may be motivated and open the door for a really solid negotiation opportunity. The nice thing about this market is that you've got the time. You can write offers with subject, do the inspections, review the strata documents. These are the things that were getting skipped when things were moving at lightning speed. Also, if detached homes are stretching your budget, don't rule out a townhouse or a condo. They often come with newer finishes, less maintenance, and they will still deliver that Okanagan lifestyle you're after. And keep a close eye on interest rates. As the interest rate comes down, your purchasing power increases. It's a great time to watch and see if it comes down so you can lock in maybe a longer term or a payment structure that fits your needs. The bottom line is that this is a better market for buyer. You've got more room to breathe, more room to negotiate, and the time to make better, more informed decisions. For sellers, the market is very different than it has been a few years ago. Gone are the days of putting a for sale sign in your front yard and expecting multiple offers by the weekend. Those days are gone, at least for now. Pricing has never been more important. If your home is overpriced, it's going to sit. The homes that are selling are those that are priced well out of the gate and make a strong first impression. Presentation is now more important than ever. You want buyers to walk through and instantly imagine themselves living in your home. That means taking care of all those little details. Maybe that's a fresh coat of paint, tidying the landscaping, a spotless clean, and staging is a great option. Quality photos and a video tour aren't an option anymore. They need to be expected. Keep in mind that buyers have so many options, so they are going to be comparing your home to dozens of others online before even stepping foot inside. So your listing, it needs to stand out, not just on price, but on presentation and story. If you are in the luxury market, this is so important. You are not just selling a home, you are selling a lifestyle. Every part of your marketing matters, from your photos to the video and copy. It all needs to be able to tell the story of what it would look like for someone to live there. At the end of the day for sellers, it's all about standing out, being realistic, and putting your best foot forward from day one. The sellers who do this are still getting great results, even in the market today. So where does this all leave us? Well, at the end of the day, Kelowna's real estate market isn't crashing, it's correcting. And that really isn't a bad thing. It's giving buyers more space to breathe, renters some more options, and forcing sellers to be sharper and more strategic. Yes, we are seeing some people move out, but we're also seeing a lot of new faces move in. Kelowna and the Okanagan still have one of the best lifestyles in the country. From the lakes to the mountain trails, the winery and the sunshine, it's really hard to beat. The key is about having the right plan for your situation. So whether that's finding the right time to make that move or how to price your home right in this market, or maybe it's about looking for that right opportunity for you as a buyer. At the end of the day, it's all about strategy. Kelowna and the Okanagan remain one of the best places to live in Canada, and we are still seeing more people move in than move out. So if you are even considering making a move, I'd love to be a resource. Scan that QR code and grab our relocation guide. You can also call, text, or schedule a quick Zoom. All my information is below. And whether you're just looking to explore your options or you're ready to take that leap and make the move, I am here to help every step of the way. And when you're done here, check out some of our other videos that take a deep dive into what it actually looks like to live right here in the Okanagan. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.